Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you are new here. My name is Amy and I do a ton of content around independently owned makeup brands, but today we're going to be doing the content creator confessions tag. This was created by Kate the Great and Better Off Red, so I'll make sure to leave both of their channels linked down below. But I was actually about to film this morning and I had a video pop up from Angelica Nyqvist doing this tag. I watched it right away. I thought it was interesting. I've been waiting for a good tag, so I just thought I would go ahead and do it for y'all. So there's a bunch of questions. It's all about kind of being a creator, some of the tea, the background stuff that goes on with creating videos. So let's jump right on in. Okay, so the very first question is, how do you feel about the term influencer, and do you feel like you are one? So I feel very neutral about the term influencer. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good thing. I think it depends on the individual person and what they are influencing. So, I mean, if someone calls me an influencer, I don't get offended. Normally, I call myself like a content creator. I feel like that's like a good safe space. But I would say I don't really understand the people who are like, I'm not an influencer, I'm not a beauty guru, I'm just like you. Like, I don't feel like having like a title for what you're doing is necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's just people like trying to have the most relatability as possible. So the second question is, how did you decide to become a content creator? And honestly, I was like at such a low point in my life, and I feel like YouTube, I had watched it for years, I had loved it, and I just wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to do it myself. I wanted to give back to a community that I felt had given me so much. So it really gave me a lot of hope because I was just super lonely. I felt like it was like a good opportunity to make friends. Like, I kind of set a goal. I researched cameras. I bought one. I figured out the best way to edit in Windows Movie Maker because that's all I knew at the time. I found a ring light. Like, I just kind of put it all together and just put my heart into it. And that's basically the story. So the third question is, what's your experience with knowing other creators in life, good or bad? I feel like I've had, honestly, such a positive experience. I've only met a few other creators in real life, like, okay, I mean, I have talked to people online, but I'm saying like in person, I've met a few and they were honestly just so amazing, even better in person than on camera, because I feel like if I could say one thing about meeting people in real life is that when you're not seeing someone on a camera, they have less of a filter. I feel like they're like their truest self. They're just, you know, less afraid of like what's someone gonna say, who's gonna judge me, because I feel like sometimes on camera you have to like think about all those things. So I will say, like, I loved meeting people in real life. Honestly, can't think of any bad experiences. It's like I know some of my friends have had bad experiences that I can think of, but nothing's really happened to me. Question number 4 is, do you accept sponsorships and how do you feel about them? I do accept sponsorships, but only with brands I love, products that I stand behind, things that I've tested. I feel like the main sponsorship that I do is with Ana Luisa, and I'm wearing their jewelry right now. I literally wear their jewelry all the time. I love their jewelry, so I feel like working with them just makes sense for me. I feel like it's just so strange in other areas of YouTube. Sponsorships don't have a bad rep. Like, I watch other videos and like, it's like people get sponsorships and everyone is so excited for them. They're like, congrats for working with this brand, so awesome. But for some reason with the beauty community, there's such a negative connotation around sponsorships, like, oh, you got paid, so now you're automatically lying. I don't know, I try not to do too many sponsorships and I try to have lots of unsponsored videos in between, but I think that there's nothing wrong with them as long as you're doing them the right way, and when I see other people get them, I'm happy for them. Question number 5 is, have you ever had an experience with a brand that left a bad taste in your mouth? I feel like if you've been here a while, you just automatically know the answer is yes, you know the story. I had the worst collaboration ever. I don't really feel like going in detail about it, but I would say that definitely left a bad taste in my mouth because I'm very nervous to collaborate with a brand again. And just the whole experience was so bad. It's like, I know if I did it with another brand, it would be completely different. I know there's plenty of amazing brands out there. I'm less naive than I was then, but it definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. All right, next question. Number 6, how do you deal with negative comments? So I have two answers for this, like 2 different routes. One is I was thinking of saying, you know, like just mentally, I feel like I'm in a lot better place because I feel like so much is going on in my life, good and bad, that I feel like with YouTube, it's in a safe space now where it's like, that is my work. You know, it doesn't define me. My value is not in how good my YouTube channel is doing. My value is not in what people think about me on YouTube. My value is in the people around me, the people that I love, my family, all those kinds of things. So I feel like I'm already in a better headspace. So a lot of times when I get negative comments, I kind of just let it slide. Like maybe I'll be annoyed for like just a minute and then I'm just like, you know what, whatever, like that person, like I feel sorry for them, that the fact that they're like wasting their time being rude to someone, like it's just so unnecessary. And I just can't imagine, honestly, I can't imagine doing that. Like I never watch a YouTube video and feel the need to be rude to someone. You know, I kind of just let it go, but also at the same time, I know that I'm a sensitive person. So now YouTube has this option where you can click on someone's name and it shows you their recent comments and if they're a frequent commenter on your channel. So sometimes someone will leave something nasty or just kind of negative and I'm like, ooh, that's not nice. I click on it and I see that all their other comments have been positive. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is constructive criticism. You know, they're not normally leaving nasty comments. Like, I'll just let it slide, whatever. But then sometimes I'll click on that and I'll see that every single comment is rude, or this is the only time they've ever commented and it was rude, and I'll just hide user from channel. So question number 7 is, what is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to comments? And I feel like I have a few. Surface level, when people comment something and it's like, oh, like asking a question that's already in the description box. Or I had someone comment something once and they were like, you didn't do swatches, this was a terrible review. And I like went back to the video and I clearly did swatches. So I sent them the timestamp. I was like, the swatches are right here. And then they commented back and they were like, oh, sorry, didn't see it. And it's like, how are you gonna be so nasty when you weren't even paying attention? But then I just get questions like that all the time where it's like, oh, what is this, yada yada, and it's in the description box. So that's like a small pet peeve. Another pet peeve I have about comments in general, it's not even what people are doing or anything. It's just the fact that I feel like you can't have a conversation, like an actual conversation, because sometimes I get comments and they're like maybe constructive criticism or they just like have a weird vibe and I'm like, I wish we could actually just talk this out as human beings instead of like comment section, because I feel like there's just so much room for miscommunication on the internet and you don't have body language, you can't hear the tone of someone's voice, you can't see if someone's being genuine or not. So I feel like that's a pet peeve that I have with comments as well. Then I just have to agree, and like I mentioned this one as well, when people talk about you in third person and they're like, she did a terrible job. I'm like, she is reading her comment section. I may not answer every single comment, but I pretty much read them all. And I just feel like maybe it's because people are used to bigger channels or something, but like deep down, it just feels kind of rude. Question 8, what is your favorite part of being a content creator? And I would say literally almost everything except for taxes. I'm already answering the next question. What's your least favorite part? Taxes. That, I feel like I'm like, I don't know. It's a whole thing. It's terrible. But as far as like being a content creator as a job, literally everything. I love making my own schedule. I love being creative. I love that I can be so flexible when it comes to making plans with friends, family, whatever. It's like, oh, like you want to go out for lunch on this day? And I'm like, yeah, like I can make my work around it. So I love that as well. I love being able to have a platform and hopefully I spread some positivity. I mean, I've definitely gotten some like notes and letters that make me feel like what I do is bigger than just talking about makeup, and I love that. And then also, you know, I feel like I've mentioned this a few times before, that just the freedom that this job gives me as a single mom, still being able to like be there and be present with my son 100%. Like I just feel like it's priceless. These are years I will never get back, and I will never not be grateful for everything YouTube for giving that to me. So like I said, question number 9 is what's your least favorite part? I feel like I answered that super easy. It's Texas. So question number 10 is, do you edit your own content? And if so, do you enjoy it? I do edit all of my own content. I have no plans to hire anyone to do it. For one, I just like doing it myself. For two, I feel like I wouldn't be able to pay someone what they're worth. So, I mean, just logically, it makes sense for me to keep doing it. As enjoying it, it depends on the video. I feel like when it's like a quicker video, when it's like easy, simple to edit, it's fine. But then sometimes when it's like videos like this of me just talking and like just listening to myself talk, I'm like, ooh, like it does get a little bit boring listening to yourself. Question 11 is, where do you draw the line in regard to sharing on social media? So I feel like I used to be a lot more open, but what I've realized now is if there's something that I don't want people's opinions on, there's something I don't want people to like feel that they have the entitlement to comment on, then I just don't share it. Like I feel like with my son especially, I just like to keep things very private because I just don't really care to have anyone's opinion on what I might be doing right or wrong, or like anything about him really. I also try to keep my relationship pretty private. I know I've like mentioned that I'm in a relationship. I'll say something here and there, but I feel like he's a very private person, and I just feel like I don't feel like I need anyone's opinions or comments on my relationship. And something else that I noticed is weird is that, you know, I have not shared a relationship on my social media basically since I got divorced. And I never get questions about wanting more kids, you know, as I should, because it's a rude question to ask. And I did a Q&A recently, and I had 2 people ask me, and it just reminds me that like you give a little, people take. So I just like to keep it very, very private. Question number 12 is, name one thing you wish you knew when you were starting out. There's so much. Ooh, you know what? Actually, something I wish I knew when I was starting out, and I'll share this now just in case anyone on here is curious. There's a tool on PicMonkey. It's a editing, like photo editing website, and it costs like $12 a month. Completely worth it. There's a tool that completely gets rid of the background of things. So if you add like product photos or whatever into your thumbnail, that tool is perfection. I used to sit on my phone and like use like a background eraser and like manually do it around like every single product. I'm telling you, it would take so long, and now PicMonkey, I just press one button and done. I was so mad when I found out that this existed because I had been doing it the hard way for so long. So just letting you know, in case you're curious, PicMonkey background remover. I'm sure there's other things, like I wish I had, you know, kept more things to myself. I wish that I had thought more before I was opinionated. I wish that I had been less naive. There's lots of things, but I feel like that's just normal. So question number 13, I'm kind of torn on. It is there any change you'd like to make to your content in the future? And I feel like my answer is like yes, because I always want to continue to make better content. But at the same time, I feel like you guys have told me that I'm like really hard on myself, and I'm always like beating myself up like I should be doing better, I should be doing more. I feel like I've kind of got a little bit inconsistent with some things, and I'm trying to get back to that. But overall, I feel like I'm trying to be nicer to myself, like I'm doing the best I can. Question number 14 is, what company/collab is your dream? I feel like I have a few different brands that I really, really love that I think would be super cool to work with. I mean, Kaleidos, Terra Moons, Divina, I feel like Alamar, Cindy Grace, Glamlay. Like there's so many indie brands I really love that I think would be a dream to work with. So question number 15 is, what other creator do you admire/want to work with? And I don't really know what exact answer I have for this one, because I feel like there's so many creators and there's so many people that I call friends that I would love to like do videos with. Like I literally am dying to do the video like collab. I've never had someone on my channel, but I want to do the like truth or drink thing. It's like you ask your subscribers to ask you questions, and either you have to answer a hard question or you have to take a shot. I think that would be such a fun video. I tried to get Amanda to do it with me, but it wasn't the moment. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, somebody will do it with me someday because I just think it'd be so much fun. Question number 16 is, what kind of content do you hate? And I hate declutters. Not other people like doing them. I hate doing declutters because I feel like people commenting are so frustrating. Like, I feel like from all ends of the spectrum, it's like people commenting, asking to have the products you're getting rid of. People commenting saying that you're being so wasteful. People commenting saying that you should have got rid of more. Like, I feel like the comments are just above and beyond judgmental on declutters. I actually had a few people mention recently, they're like, I can't wait to see your next declutter. Would love to see you do some declutters. And it's just not happening because I feel like the comments are just wild. I actually decluttered not my palettes, but some makeup and stuff recently. I went through everything, got rid of a few things that were old, some foundations, some things that went bad, yada yada. And I was like, over my dead body am I filming this, because it's just not fun for me. Like, I could film it, it'll probably do well. People like to watch declutters, but I feel like unless the comment section is off, I don't want to do it. So question number 17, the very last one, says, have you ever had to deal with cancel culture? And if so, how? And I don't think that I have, like not on like a grand scale. I've definitely had backlash. I've had backlash that I deserved. I also feel like because of cancel culture, I felt pressured to talk about things. Like, I feel a certain way, but then people they'll message me and DM me and they're like, if you don't talk about this, then you're racist. And if you don't talk about this, then you're a terrible person. And like, I feel like I felt pressured to speak up sometimes, just because it's like, well, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I represent at all. And like, I feel like people with cancel culture are pushing this narrative that if you don't talk about things exactly the way that I want to, then you're a terrible person. I feel a little nervous even including that in this video, like saying that out loud because of how people are. Right, y'all, so those are all the questions. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you'll subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.